tense now. Shit just got real, things are getting intense now. I hear you talking about we a lot, oh you speak French now.
Welcome to Lëbo. Now this is a show where we shine a spotlight on the culture and everyone that you should know or already know. Now superstars, my birthday is coming up this Sunday actually, and I was like, as I gear up, to close my early 20s, why don't I ask, for 23 wishes?
I wish I could start this whole day over again.
Okay, I kid. But, I was like, why don't I, impart, some lessons, that I learned, in my... now I have to share my age.
Oh my God, you are so beautiful. How old are you? Romania.
My 23 years, of living, very short, I'm very sure, I'm still young, I'm still here, I'm still relevant, I'm still fresh. But I just told myself, why, don't I, just share, because even 16-year-olds, 12-year-olds, they have knowledge, to share. So I also have knowledge to share. You can be whatever age, but you still have knowledge to share because you've been through stuff. So as you can see, I'm not alone. I am with, okay, well, this is not sponsored or anything, but a lot of people ask me all the time, when I go to places or not ever, they be like, are these your nails? How do you do them and not ever? So I'm like, let me just show you guys how I do them, because yes, these are my nails, these are my nails, and they ask, well, how do you keep them from breaking or anything? And I'm like, oh, they break. This one is broken. Nope.
I don't think y'all should sing it. She don't need no money right
now. Yeah, bitch ass, fuck your ass. Uh-oh.
See? And we live on
I'm sorry. She hit my sore spot.
She's talking about her
This one is broken, the middle finger. It's not broken, but it's shorter because it once broke, yeah. So, you just keep it moving, honestly, because, it's life, they break, and whatever, but I'm rambling. And then I will be, I've got cue cards now, cue cards. But I don't know if I like this logo anymore, now that I look at it, now that it's here,
Now that I'm really looking at him, this bitch kind of ugly.
I did this myself and with Canva, and I am not, the most tech savvy, but I still did it, and I was proud of myself. But now that they're here, I don't know, man, I don't know. But we still have cue cards, we're growing, yeah. So these are the lessons that I wrote down, so we can get into it. So the first lesson is people come and go, and that's okay, and I said, I always say, like Ariana says in Just Like Magic, losing friends left and right, but I just send them love and light, because I just feel like, I was about to say everyone knows this, but I don't think everyone does, but it does sting. Let me just say also, to put it out there, that it does sting when people leave you, like when people leave your life, however, if it's, something that you both, agreed on or not, or if you get ghosted or whatever. Just take it as seasons, that's, what's out there right now, people will be saying, like, take it as seasons, like, everyone, is represents a season, and seasons come to an end. So, that's honestly, that's just it, I do say, like, it, once you've attached, to someone, it does get very hard. That's one thing I will say. You need to just learn how to, just keep it moving, send them love, show them love, there's sometimes no bad blood, but, sometimes, it's the end of the road, and you just have to be okay with that. Number 2 is protect your peace. Definitely. Well, again, it's kind of hard, because one thing about me, I do tend to give into rage bait. Sometimes I get rage baited a lot, and it's so hard to protect your peace and whatever, because now I'm like furious, and now I just wanna some people, because they said something about someone that I like, or just about my sexuality or anything, and it just gets hard. But you do need to sometimes just sometimes just keep quiet, and just keep it moving. People will try to, a lot of the times I found that people also just do it because they want to get a reaction out of you. They want to see you lose your mind, lose your cool. Sometimes people put, oh my gosh, sometimes people, and they just see you like as this chill person, and whatever, and then they be like, I want to see what makes him tick, or her, or them.
And he designed some boxer briefs that both men and women and non-binary people of all gender appropriations and the pronouns, everyone is included. I didn't want this to be boxers are for men type situation, and then we have to make a female.
They just want to see what will get a reaction out of you. So you just need to protect your peace at times, which is hard, but yeah. Number 3, failure is when you don't try at all, which is so true, which is something that I will honestly preach. As someone that was actually scared to start this YouTube channel and put myself out there, like I've been trying to put myself out there with TikTok and whatever, but it gets scarier doing things that you really want to do, because also there are things that go through your mind, and as an overthinker like me, like I be thinking about a lot of things, I be like, will they like it, will they do this, will they do that, will they think, sometimes I'm just like, people are just looking at my videos and are laughing, and I mean that might be true, but also at the same time I'm doing something, I am reaching for my dreams, and no one will but me. I don't want to find myself at 40 saying, oh my gosh, I should have done this, I should have done that, if only I did this, especially since that's what happened when people started booming with TikTok. I just felt like I should have started TikTok during the pandemic, and just was serious about it, but you know what, I also say, and I think I did write it in one of the cards, I don't know, I'll just say which number it was, but I do say that now I lost my train of thought.
I'm so sorry. See, I suffer from short-term memory loss.
Short-term memory loss.
Oh, I was gonna say that don't compare yourself, also, and this is another one I wrote, so now it's all mixed up, but don't compare yourself with people, don't, and then I wanted to also say, like, there is no lost time, I think. Yeah, like, like your dreams are your dreams, and they will always be there, and you should just try to reach for them, like it's never too late. I think it's never too late, honestly. It's never too late. It never is, because you might, what I always say, actually, I always say, with this YouTube channel that I started, the Lëbo that you guys see now isn't the Lëbo that I was in 2020, and I say this because, yeah, I always wanted to do something like YouTube or whatever, but now, if the Lëbo in 2020 did like YouTube or whatever, they were so insecure and everything else, so I just feel like sometimes something that's delayed is opening doors to a better version of you, a you that can now handle things like this. Right now I just feel like I'm in a better place mentally and spiritually, physically, and everything else, that I can tackle things like these and not feel too bad about it. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes it makes me want to puke when I post things, because I mean, yeah, my things are out there, my mind is out there, but at the same time I'm just like keeping it moving, because I want it, so I'm gonna get it.
She said, and you know what? What was that? Okay, James.
So number 4 is always celebrate small wins, you know, and you know, I'm a firm believer of this, you know. I remember I did a video on TikTok, you know, of me, you know, just, you know, celebrating 37 subscribers, you know, 37 you people, not you people.
The wedding, you people were late?
I've warned you about you people, Crystal. Don't annoy me.
Quebec. Please, you people is a term that we use, and I say that to everybody.
Then say you guys. I've warned you about that shit. Don't do it. Please go say hi to Larica.
Oh, we are getting tense tonight.
I'm not
Have
gonna...
another one.
But you know, 37 subscribers of you know, real people, you know, people that are actually, you know, viewing my things, you know, even with my views, you know, and my subscribers being small and whatever, I still, you know, have like, you know, some joy that, you know, there's people who are viewing, you know, and maybe granted not everyone is liking what they see, you know, some are just, you know, they just stumbled upon it by mistake, and yeah, now they're internally judging me, but they still viewed, you know, they still viewed, and that still, you know, pushed my viewings up. So I would love though to see more of, you know, more views, more subscribers and everything else, you know, but always celebrate small wins, you know, because now you're gonna, you know, end up getting big wins, and then now it gets overwhelming or whatever, you know. I don't know, I'm just rambling now. Okay, number 5 is what I was saying, you know, with regards to number 3, what I attached to number 3 with comparison is always gonna be robbing you blind, you know. You shouldn't be comparing yourself, because, you know, you're in a different journey, you know, in a different race, you know, with everything. I remember, okay, I don't remember, but, you know, like, I just feel like it is human to, you know, compare, you know, sometimes, you know, like, sometimes you'll catch yourself, you know, like, oh, my peers are doing this, oh, especially right now, I find my peers, you know, buying apartments, they buying cars, they have kids, getting married, you know, it's, you know, life is going so well for them, you know, especially when there was a time where I wasn't doing anything. Earlier this year, I had no school, no work, no nothing, no YouTube, no content. I didn't even have a phone, chat.
Life could be worse. No, not really. This is the worst.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, my mind, you know, sometimes it would, you know, be like, you know, like, right now you're just sitting at home, you know, and people are, you know, doing things, you know, bettering themselves, you know, but that's not the way to think, you know, because that actually hurts you, you know, that hurts you in the long run. But yeah, number 6, consistency. Ciao. This is something that I struggle with, especially on TikTok. I just don't know with TikTok what to do, you know. TikTok, yeah, honestly, I always say that TikTok has its people, because I be posting and posting and posting way to a point where I get frustrated that, okay, like, I am just touching 60 views, 60 likes and whatever, but you still have to stay consistent, you know. You still have to, you never know, that's the thing. You also never know that, you know, like, it's true that you never know that, you know, will it really happen, but also at the same time, how will you know if you stop being consistent, you know? How will you know that it's never gonna work out? Because what if it does? What if you beat statistics? Because I saw a lot of people like to, you know, put people down. I just saw this other comment, you know, on TikTok where someone was saying that, you know, stop looking at people who are posting content. What the F? Stop people. What was I saying now? Oh, stop idolizing people that, you know, are successful content creators, because that's maybe not your story, like go to school and whatever. And I'm like, okay, true, you know, fair, you know, go to school and whatever. But also at the same time, you never know, you know, like those same people that are like successful content creators now started somewhere, you know. They also started where, you know, people are like, oh, you're never gonna make it or whatever, and look where they are now. Look how much they making, child, you know.
So I don't have a care in the world. When you're getting money, you don't have a care. Roger that. Roger that.
I like
I'm
Kill
sorry.
the DJ.
At number 8, oh, 7. 7, be kind to yourself. Yeah, that is something that you should always, you know, be doing. Be kind to yourself. You only have you. At the end of the day, you only have you know, and just please be kind to yourself and don't suppress, don't limit yourself, don't hide parts of yourself. Yes, don't hide parts of yourself just because you want to make the other person feel better, you know, or because you just want, you know, people's opinions and whatever to, you know, like be muted or whatever. People will never be mute. People will never be mute with whatever you do. People will never be satisfied. They'll never be satisfied. You know, you can be you could be, you know, like thick and whatever, and they'll be like, oh, why don't you lose weight or whatever, and then you're skinny, they'll be like, oh, she looks sick or whatever, she should eat or whatever. Like, people are never satisfied, you know. They can never be satisfied, so you can also never satisfy them. So don't ever try to satisfy them. So be kind to yourself by, you know, living a life for you, you know, living what you want to do, you know, being comfortable in your own skin, you know. Don't try to shrink yourself just because the public doesn't like what you're doing. They never will. They never will. They just kiki with you and laugh with you if, you know, you do that, and now they pretend that, you know, they like you, whatever, but you're gonna end up doing something again that will make them angry. Yeah, and they will start hating you again. So what's the point? Number 8. Be who you are for your pride. Be who you are. Be who you are. Like number 7, be kind to yourself and be who you are, you know, like never shrink yourself, you know. Don't, just because you want to sit at the table, darling, maybe there's a bigger table for you. That means, you know, maybe there's something bigger for you, you know. Maybe that's why you don't belong in that circle. Like, you never know. You think you do, but you don't. You want to, but you don't. It's that simple. So I'm switching from the red to the matcha. I'm done cleaning them, well, removing the red from my nails. See, these are my nails. I will be switching to the matcha, which gives me traumas of, you know, the matcha episode. But, you know, I just wanted to try green, you know, so let's do that.
A few moments later.
I don't like this color, damn. But number 9, boundaries are a love language. And I'm just gonna attach, you know, a clip from Ariana Grande, because I feel like she explained this well when she was on the Drew Barrymore show. Yes. So I'm just gonna insert a clip, you know, just so you guys see it.
Sometimes when we are tired or giving too much, battery drained, it's okay to have a boundary in a loving and respectful way. Boundaries will save your life. And the most loving thing to do is sometimes to say, hi, it's me, Drew Barrymore, I'm tired today. Just leading with that, you know? It's true.
Never heard it put that way.
And then number 10, therapy or healing is not weakness. Honestly, I'm an advocate for therapy, you know, just, you know, take your, like, you know, there's no shame. Oh my gosh, you know. I don't even know who this character is. This is from my brother, you know, honestly, he bought this. But yeah, be who you are. I mean, not be who you are, therapy. Just, you know, take some time, you know, to, you know, to yourself, you know, take care of your mental health, you know. The world can break you. That's what I will say. The world, you know, breaks people. And I just feel like, you know, therapy is there to help, honestly. There wouldn't be any therapists, you know, if, you know, they weren't helpful or anything. So there's no shame. in, you know, seeking therapy. And there is no shame in healing, you know, taking time to heal from anything. Yes, and that is the 10. So 11. Sometimes being delulu really does keep you going. One thing about me, I'm delusional. I'm delusional about a lot of things, you know. But sometimes, one thing about me, I do recognize that I'm delusional. You know, I'm just not, blind in delusion. But sometimes you just need a little delusion, to help you get through the world, because the world sometimes is just a dark place, you know. So there's that.
I've always been delusional, yes. and it has led me to great heights and very low lows.
Number 12. Family can both be love and lessons, and that is so true. Sometimes, family, teaches you about love, and loving yourself and whatever. I'm blessed, to say that, my family has taught me, about love and, being confident and all. But also, they can also be lessons, I will say that my dad is, one person that taught me to detach. I had to learn to detach from him, and seeking approval from him and whatever. So that taught me, to detach from people and, stop seeking approval from the world, Yes. And number 13. Oh my gosh. I need that drying machine thingy. But number 13, social media is not real. It's not real. What you see on social media, people being happy or whatever, sometimes that's not real. And I covered that in my last episode, about mental health and social media. So you need to go check that out. But social media is not a real place, so please don't be comparing yourself to those people. Number 14, the uncomfortable conversations are usually the most important. Sometimes you dread to speak about things, also speak about things that hurt by people, but you need to so they can change their ways, and treat you better. Sometimes you need to open up those conversations even though they're so uncomfortable. I get it, but you just have to. Number 15, your dreams don't expire. Like I said, I don't know. Now I don't remember if, it's part of the clip that got lost or whatever. But, I think I covered, that, your dreams, will, they'll always be there, So you just have to reach for them, Like, just don't, take too long that, now you never do it. So do whatever. Just do it, like. Number 16. Celebrate progress, not perfection, goes hand in hand with me saying celebrate small wins. If I was chasing perfection, I wouldn't have started my YouTube channel. You saw episode 1. If you haven't watched it, don't watch it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But my episode 1 was chaotic. It was so messy. I don't even know anything about copyrights and everything on YouTube and whatever. So honestly, I cringe, watching that episode because, but it also, I kept it up and I keep every episode up, even though, I like pinpoint every single thing, because I'm like, at the end of the day, this is where I am growing from, like this is, my journey, and I did say, this is a new journey for me and I'm taking you along with me, so you guys are along with me. I am rambling and I'm not, doing this. Number 17. Love yourself loudly. It goes hand in hand with being kind to yourself and being who you are. You need to love yourself. No one is gonna love you like you. It's hard sometimes, loving yourself, but you just have to find it. Because also, oh my gosh, I should have used the newspaper. But also, what was I gonna say? Now I lost my train of thought. I hate pointing my left, I mean my right. Painting my right. What was I even saying? Okay, loving yourself brings some sort of confidence, you end up being confident, and sometimes, confidence, sometimes it's not there, but That's why you just need to pretend, like Rihanna said, you know, pretend.
What do you do on those days that you don't feel that confident or fearless or powerful like you did out there?
Pretend.
Fake it?
Yeah.
Until we make it?
I mean, why not? It's either that or cry myself to sleep. Who wants to do that? You wake up with puffy eyes the next day. That's a waste of tears.
But number 18, opportunities don't come twice. Hey, I feel like we've all, you know, been through that. Like sometimes, you know, like there's this thing, backstory. Okay, not backstory, but like, there was this thing. I think I was in grade 2 or 3. You know, like, so there was like a talent agency kind of thingy that was looking for kids, you know, to be in an ad. I'll try to find the ad.
The fricadelle!
But you know, they wanted kids to be in this other ad and whatever, a Debonair's ad. And I wanted, like, I've always wanted, you know, to be, you know, in the entertainment industry. So I wanted to audition, but I was so scared. Like, they knew at home. Like, one thing my grand would always be like, you know, if you weren't shy and really, you know, chased and went after that dream, you'd have, you know, maybe, you know, you never know, but it would have opened up. Oh my gosh, I need to stop talking with my hands because now I'm touching everything. But what if, you know, that would have opened up doors for me, you know. So I didn't audition because I was shy and what, even timid and scared. And so, but you know, now I wish I took that opportunity or whatever. What if I would have been in an ad, child? What if I would have been a child star? But you know, number 19. Style is a self-expression. Wear what makes you feel powerful, definitely, and not what's trending. I mean, wear what's trending if that's, you know, your style, you know, but also wear something that, you know, you feel bold in. Oh my gosh, this is so chaotic. But with me, I always wanted to wear skirts and crop tops and whatever, but I was so shy because what will people say and whatever, and also my body and stuff. But you know, once I did that, you know, now I felt, you know, this is me. This is, you know, now I wear whatever I want to wear. Like if I see it and that's what I want to wear, that's what I'm gonna wear. You know, no one is gonna tell me otherwise. You know, this is the green, but we're not finished. Let me explain quickly. So basically, I have this. I needed, you know, like, you know, sometimes, you know, with nail polish, like, just, you know, this base or whatever, like it doesn't last. You know. So let me not touch. But so I wanted like a top shiny coat, you know, and I tried this Essence one, the pink Ventures one, and whatever, but it was horrible. I'm sorry, Essence, but it's horrible. And then Wet n Wild came in, you know, I was like, do that clicks, and I was like, okay, this Wet n Wild thing, I'm gonna try it, and it was recommended by, you know, someone that worked at Clicks in Summerstrand, you know, shout out to you. Yeah, and now once I put this on, it doesn't just last, but it looks so sick. It looks very good, you know. So I'm putting you guys on with this. Yeah, I'm gonna just wait for my nails to dry so that I can show you guys.
A few moments later.
Okay, so now we can, you know, top coat with our Wet n Wild. But okay, number 20. Gratitude shifts perspective. You know, sometimes you already have what you prayed for years ago, which is true. You know, sometimes, you know, you just need to, hey, I don't know if this is working out. You know what, I should just stick to my red and my occasional blue. But you know what, we'll see it through. I just don't think I like this green, you know. I just don't think I like green. But yeah, no, but yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, you have what you prayed for years ago, but because you're too busy, you know, too focused on, you know, what you want now, like the next thing, that you don't even see, you know, that you don't even, you know, check to look. So you just need to, you know, sometimes catch yourself and look around and be like, hey, you know, I recognize this and that. But anyways, 21, friendships aren't meant to drain you. If it's one-sided, baby, It probably is. And I feel like, not that I'm saying, that there's anything wrong, with low maintenance friendships, because that's what people nowadays are leaning towards. But I will say that sometimes they might lead to one-sided friendships, where people are like, oh, but my friends are low maintenance or whatever, but sometimes it's okay, like to just check on your friends now and then, and they should check on you too. That's why we're saying one-sided, because not just one person should check on the other person. Sometimes but also I always say that people are for different reasons. Friends are also for different reasons. There's friends who are there for like a good time, and that you're gonna hit this one up because they're the best person to go to a club with or whatever. But then there's also other friends who are there for deep conversations, mentally stimulating conversations and whatever. So I just say that people have their own categories, and I guess like just meet people in that category. Like if you still need to check up on them in those different types of categories that you put them in. Number 22, confidence gets you further than perfection. And that is so true. That's why they tell you to fake it till you make it, guys. Like, they are not lying when they say that, because sometimes you don't need to know what you're doing or whatever. You don't need to be, but like if you're confident about your craft or whatever, like people will recognize your efforts get recognized, not perfection. #23, the last one, God's timing, or anything you subscribe to, any single thing you subscribe to, divine timing, the universe's timing, whatever's timing, is always superior than your own, because you never know. Like, yes, you might want things to go as planned, but and for me, I struggle with that. I won't lie. I'm such a I like to be in control. I really love to be in control of certain things. Like, I just want things to flow how I flow. Like, if this is it needs to be right now, or so, but sometimes you just need to let go of the steering wheel. This is not your car, so just flow. Sometimes you just need to flow, just, but keep in control at times, but also flow. Just have some duality or whatever, I guess. But yeah, those are my 23 lessons for 23 years. And I think I've rushed through some of them because, as I said, space, Lala. I'm battling with space. I hate this for me. Like, I hate that I have to battle with space. Like, I need something. I need a camera, guys. I need a video camera or whatever to. But I'm done. I'm done. And I don't know how I feel about this color. I don't know how I feel about this color. And don't worry about the mess or whatever, like you not painting, and me not painting, in the lines or whatever. Because I mean, if you step into the shower, it's gonna be fixed. That's why you need to paint your nails before you go out. I mean, before you shower to go out. Yes. That's for us, girls who aren't getting their nails done at like a professional, because some of us, I started this because I started doing my own nails because I couldn't afford to get the nails that I want, which are the Paris Hilton times Kim Kardashian 2000s. I had the name, now my brain is failing me, but I'll insert a picture. Those are the nails that I wanted and still want, but sometimes you be a brokey, so I had to do it for myself. And that's how I even learned that this is actually a really good thing, and this is like the good base thing. But y'all know this is my favorite. I like the base color, actually. I hated the base color, but when it's paired with this, perfection. So yeah, I love this, I love that we have cue cards now. I love that our show is growing, and we are growing, we're on 39 subscribers now. I'd love it to be more, but I love that every single one of you is tuning in and supporting me and subscribing, and sharing, and just, keeping my lights on, because, this is Lights On with Lëbo. Thank you so much for watching, I hope, I did share some knowledge with you, like something at least that you like, you might be onto something right here. And, if I didn't, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I guess I'll have to be okay with it. But you know what? Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and tell me about you, like don't be shy to comment, about anything you want, okay, maybe keep it cute, but yeah. And my 14th episode, which is gonna be on my 14th, on my birthday, which is the 14th of September. That's actually iconic, 1414. But I will be, unveiling a segment, and also, I would like, for you guys to, just, tune in, for that episode, because yeah, I can't promise you that it's gonna be a maza. What do they say in slang? South African slang, akit. A bash, I get it. But yeah, can't promise you that it's gonna be epic or whatever, but I can promise you that it's gonna be something at least. But yeah, that's it from me, Lëbo. Goodbye.